Voices to be heard. Stick to the frequency that amplifies those voices, stories, and reports that make the difference. This is Agidigbo News, 88.7 FM, the people's voice.
This is Kunle Amzat Studio, Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Welcome to News Around the World.
Good evening. Welcome to the news around the world on Agidigbo 88.7 FM Ibadan, the most listened to radio station. I am Olamide Badmus. First, the headlines. Reps move to strengthen DSS operations through funding, training bills. Makinde approves contributory pension scheme for Oyo workers. United Kingdom officials expect Russia to retaliate for seizure of oil tanker. United States, Iran deal signing gets more ships moving in Strait of Hormuz. Nigeria set for Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games national trials. Now the details. The House of Representatives has commenced legislative consideration of three key bills aimed at strengthening the operational capacity of the Department of State Services (DSS), with lawmakers emphasizing the need for sustainable funding, enhanced intelligence training, and indigenous research to address Nigeria's evolving security challenges. This was made known today at a public hearing organized by the House Committee on National Security and Intelligence led by Honorable Ahmed Satomi at the National Assembly, Abuja, where he said the proposed legislations seek to boost funding, professional capacity, and technological innovation within Nigeria's premier domestic intelligence agency. Honorable Satomi explained that the committee received memoranda and oral submissions on three proposed laws: a bill to establish the DSS Trust Fund, another to create the Strategic Intelligence Management Institute, and the third to establish the DSS Research and Development Institute. The committee chairman further stressed that the public hearing was intended to improve the quality of the draft laws and urged participants to focus their contributions on strengthening national security while safeguarding citizens' rights. Today, discipline remains one of the biggest responsibilities parents face in raising children, as some still believe in beating, while others now prefer dialogue and counseling. With changing times, parenting styles, and influence of social media, the methods used to correct children have shifted greatly from what our parents knew, but questions are now being asked about what really works best for today's children. Is beating still the best way to instill discipline? In this report, Agidigbo FM correspondent Rukayat Aziz takes a closer look at how parents and children view discipline in the 21st century. Here is the report.
In most homes across Nigeria, discipline remains a daily duty for parents, even as the method of correcting children keep changing with time. With the rise of social media, modern schooling, and changing family structures, many parents now struggle to balance traditional discipline with new parenting styles. But do most parents pause to think about what really works for children growing up today? And how much do children themselves understand about discipline? This report engaged some residents who shared their opinions on whether beating is still effective and what method works best for 21st century children. A mother said the pain of childbirth makes her reluctant to touch her child, but she added that without discipline, the child will be spoiled.
Growing up and the behavior sometimes is very, very frustrating and annoying. So sometimes I use words, I shout at him, leave there, Leave there, don't go there. But if I see he's not listening to me, if I just say, where is my cane? Where did I put my cane? He will run away from the place.
Another resident said beating was the only method in the past, but today, parents want first.
Beating was the only way to discipline a child in the past, but in today's time, children are warned but eventually beaten if they refuse to listen.
Another resident said punishment is the best way to discipline a child.
Discipline your child is by maybe punishments, those harsh punishments. Because if you discipline your child by beating a child, he's going to get used to it. Like, I'm going to do it, mommy is just going to beat me.
As parenting styles continue to evolve, the debate on the best way to raise responsible children remains ongoing. However, experts say combining firm rules and open communication is key to raising balanced children. Rukayat Aziz, Agidigbo FM News.
The chairman of Oyo State Pensions Board, Mr. Tunji Adekunle, has announced that the state governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, approved immediate commencement of the contributory pension scheme in the state. This was conveyed in a statement released by the Ministry of Information and made available to newsmen today in Ibadan, the state capital, which noted that Mr. Adekunle made this known through the Permanent Secretary, Post Service Board, Reverend Adekunle Victor Adeshola, in a circular was issued to inform all stakeholders, ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as civic public servants across the state. According to the chairman, the scheme will apply to officers employed into the service of Oyo State with effect from 1st of January 2020, while the other contributory pension scheme will officially commence on 1st of July 2026. Mr. Adekunle also explained that the pension contribution rate will be 12% from the employer, which is the state government, and 8% from the employee, in line with the approved contributory structure in the state. Meanwhile, the Oyo State House of Assembly has opted against holding elaborate activities to commemorate its third anniversary, citing prevailing security challenges in parts of the state, particularly within the Okeogun and Ogbomosho zones. The decision was disclosed by the Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Adebo Ogundoyi, during plenary sitting, where the House used the occasion to reflect on its performances over the past 3 years and assesses its contributions as a critical arm of government committed to democratic governance, accountability, and service delivery. The Speaker noted that while the third anniversary of the 10th Assembly would ordinarily have provided an opportunity for celebrations and public engagements, the current security situation in some parts of the state necessitated a more restrained approach while assuring residents that the House would remain steadfast in pursuing legislative initiatives aimed at improving the welfare of citizens. Now it is time to link up with our United Kingdom studio for the foreign news.
News from Kile Amza Studio, Agidigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Zikrot Fasasi. United Kingdom's military had considered possible responses to the seizure of the vessel carrying Russian crude oil worth $40 million to India and participate that the Kremlin will want to hit back. The Smiatos was seized in the small hours of Sunday on the orders of the British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer as it sailed 25 miles 40 kilometers south of the Isle of Wight, and its India captain has been charged with breaching UK sanctions on Russia. Although no formal warning has been issued to the British captains and ship owners, but the UK Chambers of Shipping, which represent the industry, said there was an understanding that there could be the risk of a Russian tit-for-tat action. However, British officials has prompted UK ship owners to exercise greater vigilance until tensions with Moscow. Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper, who is currently in Cairo, has announced £9 million to support people into local jobs in the region and to benefit host community. The UK is to increase funding for programs that helps countries in North Africa cope with the impact of migration from regional conflict in a bid to stop migration upstream before migrants reach the UK. Cooper said helping these countries as they deal with the impact of this displacement and helping vulnerable people rebuild their lives much closer to home is the right thing to do and also an important part of preventing dangerous and illegal onward journeys to Europe and the UK. The North Africa Immigration and Development Program has thereby extended to Libya for the first time and will also expand support in Egypt, Algeria, and Tunisia. And that is the news from Kule Amza Studio. Agidigbo FM United Kingdom. I am Zikrot Fasasi.
Welcome back. We shall also be moving to her Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Kule Amzat Studio, Agidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya. At least 10 commercial vessels were transiting the Strait of Hormuz Thursday morning amid a noticeable increase in traffic, hours after President Donald Trump and his Iranian counterpart signed the agreement between the two countries. The Memorandum of Understanding, signed Wednesday, is to reopen the Strait of Hormuz immediately and initiate broader direct negotiations between the United States and Iran on a range of contentious issues, including Tehran's nuclear program. Israel is negotiating with the United States, according to reporters, as it seeks to keep forces deployed in southern Lebanon amid the country's parallel fight against Hezbollah, which the United States-Iran agreement says must end now. Iran had said that Israeli forces remaining in Lebanon would be considered a violation of the deal. Soldiers in Niger searched for militants around the airport and military air base in the capital Niamey on Thursday after explosions and sustained gunfire were heard in what a security source described as an apparent attack on the facility. The situation appeared mostly calm by noon, with only sporadic fire possibly linked to the army's sweeping operations. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attack. A Niger government spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The Islamic State affiliate in the region claimed responsibility for an attack on the complex in January. At the time, the group said it had targeted Air Command headquarters and drone assets and claimed to have delivered a direct blow to the Sahel country's counterinsurgency operations. Niger, like its Sahel's neighbor Mali and Burkina Faso, has struggled to contain attacks from jihadist groups linked to an Al-Qaeda and Islamic State that have killed thousands and displaced millions across the three countries. And that ends the news from Kule Amzat Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya.
Welcome back once again. Now, in the exciting world of sports, Nigeria is set for the staging of the 2026 national trials for the Commonwealth Games, which will hold from 20th to 22nd of June 2026 at the Yaba Tech Sport Complex, Yaba, Lagos. The three-day championship will to serve as the official selection event for Nigerian athletes seeking qualification and representation at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, is also expected to attract some of the nation's finest track and field athletes, providing a competitive platform to showcase talent, achieve qualifying standards, and earn places on Team Nigeria. Among the notable athletes expected to participate are Chukwuebuka Enekechi, Fakorede Adekalu, Tyler Johnson, and Ogundiro Blessing, alongside several other elite and emerging stars who continue to raise the profile of Nigerian athletics on the international stage. The National Sports Commission reiterates its commitment to a transparent, competitive, and world-class selection process that reflects excellence and fairness while strengthening Nigeria's preparations for Glasgow 2026. The Commonwealth Game is scheduled to hold from 23rd of July to 2nd of August 2026 in Glasgow, the largest city in Scotland. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of the headlines. Reps move to strengthen DSS operations through funding, training bills. Makinde approves contributory pension scheme for oil workers. United Kingdom officials expect Russia to retaliate for seizure of oil tanker. United States-Iran deal signing gets more ships moving in Strait of Hormuz. Nigeria set for Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games national trials.
Don't forget that you can listen to us live on our website www.agidigbo88.7fm.com. You can also download our mobile app on Google Play Store and iOS. Simply search for Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Follow us on Facebook at Agidigbo 88.7 FM, on Twitter and Instagram at Agidigbo 887 FM, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have news stories and tips for us, contact our newsroom on 070-8714-4865 or send us a mail on newsroom@agidigbo887fm.com.
And before we go this evening, here is a quick tip. You can't become what you need to be by remaining what you are. Action needs to be taken. Finally, we have come to the end of the news around the world on Agidigbo 88.7 FM Ibadan, the most listened to radio station. I am Olamide Badmus. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information is power. At Agidigbo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State Independent Electoral Commission, OISEC, has called for continuous collaboration.
We bring you reports from Oyo State.
The Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation.
Southwest Nigeria and the rest of the world.
Has clarified that the body did not receive any cash support from international development.
Trust us to keep you informed every hour, every day.
Agidigbo